When I got the call that my wife had been in a car accident, I rushed to the hospital. I wasn't ready for the nurse to mistake me for her boyfriend, because the real boyfriend was already in her room holding her hand. She saw me, smiled weakly, and said, "You should have been faster." I left without a word, and let her heal without me by her side. I, 34 male, was married to Diana, 32 female, for a little over 4.5 years when it all went down. We lived in Springfield, Missouri. I worked as a logistics coordinator for a warehouse distribution company. Long hours, decent pay, but not a flashy job. She worked part-time at a salon and tried running a beauty account on Instagram. I supported it all, even when it felt like she was more into her phone than our marriage. We'd been having issues for about a year. Less talking. Less laughing. Less, everything. But I figured it was just one of those ruts couples go through. We didn't scream at each other or cheat. Or at least I thought we didn't. I thought we were okay. I thought we were going to make it. That belief ended in a hospital hallway. It was a Tuesday. I was supposed to be in a supplier meeting, but I saw I had 2 missed calls from an unknown number and 1 voicemail. It was from the hospital. The nurse said Diana had been in a car accident. Nothing too crazy, no life-threatening injuries, but she was banged up and asking for me. I dropped everything and drove across town like a madman. I wasn't even sure I parked right. My brain just wanted to see her, hold her hand, tell her I was there. That she was okay. When I got to the ER desk and gave them her name, the nurse squinted at the screen and then looked up at me. "You're her husband?" That pause should have told me something. But I was too panicked to catch it. "Yeah," I said. "Where is she?" "Room 214. I didn't wait. I walked straight there, heart pounding out of my chest. I pushed open the door. And the world shifted sideways. There was a man already in the room. Early 30s. Athletic build. Wearing a gray hoodie and jeans. Sitting in the chair next to her bed. Holding her hand. He looked like he belonged there. I stood in the doorway, trying to make sense of it. Diana looked up and locked eyes with me. And then she said it. "You should have been faster." She said it like I was late for picking her up from dinner. Not like I was her husband. Not like I'd just found her other man at her bedside while she was still in a hospital gown. No apology. No panic. Just a smug little smirk and those 5 words. I didn't say anything. I couldn't. I think I stopped breathing. The guy looked at me, confused. He clearly hadn't expected me either. "This is your..." She nodded. Still didn't let go of his hand. I turned and walked out. I remember walking past the nurses, out into the hallway, through the exit. I remember the cold air hitting my face. I don't remember the drive home. I didn't eat that night. Didn't answer texts. Didn't sleep. I kept hearing her voice. "You should have been faster." Like I was the one who messed up. After 2 days, her sister texted me. "Diana's wondering why you haven't been back to the hospital." I didn't answer. What was I supposed to say? That she'd been caught with her side piece in her hospital room and treated me like I was a stranger? No. I wasn't going to play that game. That's when I decided. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to beg. I'm going to let her think I'm broken. Then I'm going to take everything. I waited a week before going back to the hospital. She was sitting up in bed when I walked in. Bruises fading. 4 out. No sign of her boyfriend this time. She looked surprised to see me. "Caleb," I stood near the wall. I didn't sit. "You asked for me?" I said. Her eyes watered, but she didn't cry. I wasn't thinking straight that day. I was in pain, scared, and I said something I shouldn't have. You should have been faster, I repeated. That sound like a mistake to you? She looked away. I didn't mean to hurt you. I nodded slowly. You didn't hurt me. You killed us. She flinched. I'm leaving, I said. You can stay in the house for now. I'll be gone by the end of the week. What? Caleb, wait, are you serious? I already packed most of my stuff. You're just going to walk away? You already did. Then I walked out. That was the last time I saw her in person. Next move, control. I froze our joint accounts the next day. Opened a new one in my name. Transferred my paychecks over. Cancelled our shared credit cards, she only ever used mine. She texted 3 days later, my card got declined. Did something happen? No response. I checked the mortgage paperwork. Only my name was on it. I paid every dime. She never put in a penny toward the house. Missouri lets you file for divorce with grounds. One of those grounds is adultery. So I hired a private investigator. 2 weeks later, I had pictures. Her with the guy at a bar. Her at his apartment. Her leaving in the same clothes the next morning. I took all of it to a lawyer and filed for divorce on the grounds of cheating. She got served the following Friday, at a brunch spot, in front of 2 of her influencer friends. She tried to call me right after. I declined it. She left a voicemail. Crying. Angry. Denying. Then came the begging. Then came the threats. I didn't reply. I kept the house. The lawyer made sure of that. She moved in with her sister and started talking about how she was rebuilding. That's when I took it a step further. She had an Instagram account, 5K followers, mostly local women, trying to make it as a beauty expert. It was her pride. Her little empire. So I started sharing truths. Quietly. An anonymous account. Screenshots of her texts with the guy. Dates they were together. Messages she sent about me to him. Married women shouldn't call their husbands boring while they're in his house, right? That's all I posted. The internet did the rest. Comments disappeared. Brands stopped working with her. She tried to go private. Then she deleted the whole thing. She messaged me. Why are you ruining my life? I replied, you started it. I'm just finishing it. She lost the guy a few weeks later. I don't know why. I didn't care. But I heard he had a kid and didn't want the drama. It got messy fast. Last I heard, she took a job at a receptionist desk in a small salon in Colombia. Lives in a tiny apartment above a laundromat. I live in the house I paid for. With peace. But I'm not done yet. A month passed. Then 2. I thought the worst was behind me. I was wrong. She came back. It started with a text. Just her name popping up again after months of silence. Diana, we need to talk. It's important. I didn't reply. Then a call. Then 3 more. All ignored. Finally, she showed up at the house. I got home from work one Thursday evening, tired, just wanting to heat up leftovers and walk the dog. And there she was. Sitting on the porch steps like nothing had happened. She stood when she saw me. Please don't shut the door in my face. I'll consider it, I said. But only because I don't want the neighbors hearing you scream. She looked thinner. Tired. Makeup barely covering the circles under her eyes. She wasn't wearing one of her usual designer outfits. Just a hoodie and jeans. Something about it pissed me off more. Like she was trying to look pitiful. Just 5 minutes, she said. That's all I'm asking. I didn't say anything. Just opened the door, stepped inside, and left it cracked. She followed. She stood awkwardly in the living room. Looked around like it was a museum she used to live in. You changed things, she said quietly. Yeah. I made it mine. She nodded. It looks colder. I laughed. Still warmer than you were the last 6 months we were married. She winced. Okay. I deserve that. No, Diana. You deserve a lot worse. So say whatever you came to say and get out. She stood there, hands fidgeting. Then finally said it. I'm pregnant. I stared at her. Dead silent. 3 months, she added. I said nothing. Not even a breath. Then, it's not mine. No, she said. It's his. That made me laugh. Out loud. Bitter and sharp. So what the hell do you want from me? She swallowed hard. Help. I raised an eyebrow. Come again? I can't do this alone, she said. He bailed. Disappeared. I don't have health insurance. I don't have enough money to get a new apartment, let alone raise a kid. I know I messed up. I know you hate me. But I didn't know where else to go. I just stared at her. Like she was a stranger who'd wandered into the wrong house. You came to me, I said. After all the lies. After all the crap you pulled. You thought I'd help raise his kid? No, she whispered. Not raise it. Just, help me stay afloat. I took a long breath. Then stepped closer. You stood in a hospital bed, holding another man's hand, and told me I should have been faster. You smiled when you saw my world fall apart. And now you're here because you think I'll help you. Tears welled in her eyes. I know what I did. No, I said. You don't. If you did, you wouldn't have come back here. I didn't yell. I didn't threaten. I just opened the door. You've got 30 seconds to leave. Or I call the cops. She stood frozen. I mean it, Diana. 30 seconds. Then I never see you again. She walked out. Slow. Head down. I watched her get in a beat-up car and drive off. That night, I called my lawyer. Can she come after you for anything? He asked. She better not, I said. Still, I took precautions. Changed the locks again. Got a ring cam. Even changed my route to work just in case she tried to run into me. But she didn't. At least not for a while. 3 weeks later, I got a letter in the mail. Not from her. From Child Services. She'd listed me as unknown father. Filed for temporary government assistance. Claimed she wasn't sure who the father was. That she'd been separated from her husband at the time. I saw red. She tried to legally pin the baby on me. I called the lawyer again. She's playing games, he said. Trying to shake you down. We'll get ahead of it. We filed for a DNA test. She didn't show up to the first court date. Or the second. But the damage was done. My name was now in another government system. Tied to her mess again. I was so angry I couldn't sleep for days. That's when I decided I needed to go deeper. I wanted her out of my life, but I also wanted her to learn. She'd never been held accountable. Not really. She charmed people, cried pretty tears, blamed the world for her problems. But now, she was cornered. She had no one left to lie to. No followers. No friends backing her up. And I wasn't going to stop until she had nothing left to fake. I started digging. I found out her boyfriend, baby daddy, was actually married. Lived 2 towns over. 3 kids. Turns out, Diana had been the side chick the whole time. He bailed on her when she got too clingy. So I made a call. To his wife. Her name was Callie. The wife. She answered on the second ring. Calm voice. No clue what was coming. Hi, I said. You don't know me. My name's Caleb Mitchell. I think your husband and my ex-wife have history. Silence. Then, excuse me? I gave her the basics. No fluff. Just the truth. Your husband, Mark, is the father of my ex-wife's baby. She tried to name me as the possible father to get assistance. She listed me as unknown even though we were still legally married when she got pregnant. The line was quiet. Then Callie said, "Hold on." I waited. When she came back, her voice was different. Cold. Steady. She told me he'd ended things. Said she didn't know he was married until after. She lied. Of course she did, she said. That's her job. That conversation lit the match. 2 weeks later, I got a call from my lawyer. You might want to check the county court site, he said. There it was. Mark Hadley versus Diana Mitchell. He was suing her. For harassment. Defamation. Emotional distress. Apparently, after he bailed on her, she blew up his phone. Showed up at his job. Threatened to tell his wife everything. Claimed she'd out him online. She tried to hold his marriage hostage. And it backfired. Callie left him. Took the kids. Filed for full custody. And used my messages as part of her evidence that Mark and Diana had continued the affair long after Diana was still married to me. I didn't even need to show up. I just handed over screenshots. Then Diana did the thing she always did when cornered, she tried to play victim. She made a long post on a new Instagram page, this time under a fake name. Anonymous woman betrayed by 2 men. Talking about abandonment. Lies. Emotional abuse. But this time? Nobody bought it. She got doxxed by her own former followers. Screenshots got passed around. The truth spread faster than she could spin it. Then her sister cut her off. How do I know? Her sister called me. Just so you know, she said, I kicked her out. I can't do it anymore. What happened? She tried to steal my rent money, she said. Claimed she needed it for baby stuff. Then I found out she sold half my makeup and lied about it. I kept quiet. She's on her own now. Sleeping in her car, probably. Thought you'd like to know. I didn't reply. I just hung up. I thought that would be it. But Diana wasn't done. Not even close. One night, I got home late. Walked my dog. Unlocked my front door, and something felt off. The couch cushion was out of place. The back door was unlatched. I checked the garage. Empty. But something else was gone. My laptop. I checked my bedroom. My old phone, one I hadn't used in months, gone from the drawer. She'd broken in. I called the cops. Filed a report. 2 days later, I got a ping from the old phone. Location, an abandoned strip mall parking lot near Route 60. She was living in her car. Using my stuff. I didn't go. I didn't confront her. I just sent the GPS coordinates to the cops and forwarded the theft report. That same night, they picked her up. But the real twist? They found something else in the car. Letters. Dozens of them. Written to the baby. About me. About how I'd abandoned them. How I was the real father and had turned my back on our family. She was going to try again. This time, full-on delusion. She'd lost everything, and now her mind was slipping, too. And I knew, she wasn't done with me. Not yet. After the police found those letters in her car, everything changed. They called me in. Asked if I wanted to press charges for the break-in and theft. I said yes. Without hesitation. I was tired of playing defense. Diana was arrested. Nothing dramatic. No handcuffs in front of cameras. Just a quiet pickup and a court date scheduled for the end of the month. She made bail the next day, but now the system had eyes on her. She couldn't pull the same tricks anymore. No more slipping through cracks. No more running. But it didn't stop her from trying. 3 weeks later, I got a letter from a lawyer. Diana had filed a civil suit against me. Claimed I'd emotionally abused her. Said I'd psychologically manipulated her into financial dependence, and that my retaliation had made her unemployable. She even threw in digital harassment and blamed me for the Instagram fallout. It was insane. Lies stacked on lies. But here's the thing, in court, the truth always leaves fingerprints. We went to trial. Real courtroom. Real judge. Real consequences. She walked in wearing a baggy sweater and maternity jeans, trying to look weak. Trying to look like the poor, pregnant woman abandoned by a cold, bitter man. I sat on the other side. Calm. No emotion. My lawyer had everything: screenshots, photos, bank records, text messages, call logs, witness statements. Even Diana's sister agreed to testify against her. Mark's wife sent in an affidavit confirming the timeline of their affair. We had Diana's baby bump photos matched to dates she'd claimed she was separated from me. Which, legally, was never true until after she was served. It got worse for her. When the court reviewed the theft report and police body cam footage from the night she was arrested, it was obvious she was spiraling. The judge didn't say anything for a long time after it all came out. Then he said something I'll never forget. "Miss Mitchell, I see no evidence that your former husband did anything but protect himself, his property, and his peace. This is not a case of abuse. This is a case of a person refusing to accept the consequences of their actions." He ruled in my favor. But it didn't stop there. I countersued. For defamation. For emotional distress. For damages to my name and job. For dragging me into government systems by falsely naming me as a father. My lawyer wanted to go easy. I said no. I want everything I can take, I told him. The court agreed. She owed me $36,000. Money she didn't have. They froze her accounts. Garnished any income she tried to make. She tried setting up new online accounts under fake names to sell beauty tips again, but people kept calling her out. Her name was ruined locally. Eventually, she tried to leave the state. But she couldn't. Not without permission, because she was now in the middle of a custody battle. See, when the baby was born? It wasn't Mark's either. Turns out she'd been seeing a third guy. Some bartender named Travis. He came forward demanding a paternity test after seeing her on a local gossip thread. He took the test. It was his. He wanted full custody once he realized she had no job, no home, no income, and a pending criminal case for breaking into her ex-husband's house. And he got it. She lost the baby, too. So where's Diana now? Last I heard, she was living in a halfway house outside of Joplin. Has court-ordered therapy. Can only see her child twice a month, supervised. Still owes me money. Still owes legal fees. No job. No friends. No family willing to help her. And me? I sold the house. Too many memories. Moved to Kansas City. New place, new job, new chapter. I met someone. Her name's Rachel. She's real. Steady. No games. We don't talk about our exes much, but she knows the basics. Sometimes I still hear Diana's voice in my head. You should have been faster. And maybe she was right. Maybe I should have been faster. Faster at seeing what kind of person she really was. But in the end, I was fast enough. Fast enough to walk away. Fast enough to watch her life fall apart without lifting a finger. Fast enough to heal on my own terms, while she watched everything slip through her hands. And now? She's alone. I'm not. That's the difference.